Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Our top story this hour, the city of Venice has rejected a proposal to move a planned Habitat for Humanity neighborhood.
The city was concerned the homes would be built out of the city limits, but by moving them, Habitat officials believe they could build more affordable homes for families in need. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us now live from Venice with more on those concerns tonight. Christopher?
Good evening, guys. This decision comes on the heels of a deadline that's quickly approaching that says the Habitat for Humanity must build something on the land the city of Venice gave them. The deed for the land on Knights Trail came with specific rules.
Within 7 years, you have to have 5 COs, which are certificate of occupancies, and within 10 years, it has to be completed.
4 years into the project and the land is still empty. One reason for the delay, according to the executive director Dee Danmeyer, is that the property is at the mercy of a nearby home developer.
In his developer agreement, he's supposed to include 20 parking spaces for us, as well as the wastewater connection.
That hasn't happened. For that and other reasons, Habitat asked the Venice City Council if they could sell the land they were gifted and use the money to start the project elsewhere in Venice. But the City Council said no, fearing the homes would be built even a mile outside of city limits.
We would love the opportunity to build in the city, but the honest to God's truth is that we can't afford it.
If Habitat was able to sell the land and use it to buy a less expensive property, they say they could use the money to build even more homes for those in need.
We can do more good, we can put more people in houses if we have the opportunity to look outside of the city limits.
Despite being denied their request to sell the land, Habitat is not giving up on building affordable houses in Venice. In fact, they're remaining upbeat that they'll be able to get something built soon.
We're excited to be able to partner with the City of Venice, with the City Council members. We're excited to work with the community.
At this point, Habitat for Humanity says they just want to get a project started, but it's unclear when that may happen. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. Car insurance rates are now at an all-time high. The Suncoast specifically seeing an average increase of 7% just over the last year. Most car insurance companies in Florida say they're losing money. They're paying out more money in claims than what they're taking in, and that's why your car insurance premiums are rising. Rates are not just based off of your driving record. Distracted driving, congestion, and even the weather here on the Suncoast all playing into the price that you're paying.
You know, you'll get these stupid little fender benders that 20 years ago would have been a $500 claim, which is now a $5,000 claim because of a couple things. The cars are much more valuable, and then there's a lot of fraud.
Florida has the 5th highest car insurance rates in the country, and unfortunately experts predict it will only get worse in the future. To save money, those same experts suggest shopping around frequently and then compare prices.
Well, some good news on this first day of March with some cooler temperatures on the way. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yes, indeed. Some people looking forward to the cooler weather. Temperatures have been in the 80s now over 11 straight days. 76 current temperature. We have a few clouds around, but nice sunset, and dew point is 71. That's summer-like reading there with the southwest wind at 10. Winds are going to stay out of the southwest too overnight. So it's going to stay warm and muggy overnight before the cold front eventually moves through by midday tomorrow. You'll notice a lot of rainfall today over parts of Alabama and into Georgia. There's the actual cold front. It's a long way to go yet. It's going to continue to move off to the southeast while it moves away from the area of low pressure, which is driving it. So there's not going to be a lot of lift. On top of that, there's a lot of dry air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere right now overhead. So don't expect a lot of rainfall. I would not be surprised to see a few showers, though. That'll happen tomorrow, mainly after sunrise and continuing up into midday. Satellite imagery, finally the high pressure ridge, which has been giving us the record-breaking February temperatures, is breaking up a little bit and heading off to the east, and a thin line of showers expected to move through. It's going to be warm for one more day, and then the warm weather goes away for a little while. We get back to basics here along the Suncoast. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. Happening now, the Florida Department of Transportation is holding a special meeting at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall.
Transportation officials are answering the public's questions about the US 41 roundabout projects in Sarasota. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us live now from the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall with more. Rick?
Yeah, guys, good evening. This meeting brought out a lot of folks today. The roundabouts are being built on US 41 at 10th Street and 14th Street. And these roundabouts are expected to cost more than $12 million. It should be completed by the spring of 2020, and this is a project that's already underway.
Yeah, certainly we think they're going to make a pretty good improvement to not only the traffic flow but also the safety of the area. Everyone knows there are times, especially off-peak times, when you sit at an intersection and there's nobody coming, but you're sitting at a signal and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and so this will totally eliminate that. And even during those times when you have traffic, this will still allow traffic to flow from all directions.
And you still do have a little more time to get out here. They'll be here until 6:30 tonight. And again, it's at the Van Wezel. It's with FDOT. And we'll have a lot more on this story coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. Reporting live from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. With just over 1 week remaining in the 2018 legislative session, school safety legislation drafted in the House and Senate is being put on hold. Leaders acknowledging today that the quickly drafted plans need more work. The current safety proposal would require people to be 21 years old to purchase firearms, create a 3-day waiting period when buying long guns, and increase funding for mental health. The House and Senate bills also include a controversial school marshal component that would allow specially trained teachers who are deputized by local law enforcement agencies to bring guns to schools.
The conversation has been about making sure that our bills line up so that we can take up a bill that we can all agree on, at least in large part, and we can pass out of the House.
I want to make sure there's a law enforcement presence at our schools. I don't believe in arming the teachers. I've been clear since I put out my proposal last week.
The full Florida Senate is expected to take up the bill on Friday, with the House waiting until next week to debate what may be passed out of the Senate.
Jury selection has begun in the federal trial of Noor Salman, the widow of the man who shot and killed 49 people at an Orlando nightclub in 2016. Salman is charged with aiding and abetting her husband, Omar Mateen, in planning the attack on the Pulse nightclub. She's also been charged with obstruction of justice and faces life in prison if convicted. Once a jury is selected, the judge said the trial could last up to 5 weeks.
Manatee County firefighters and their families took part in a different type of cancer screening today. The first responders breathing into masks, which are then sent up to Canada to an organization called Cancer Dogs. Specially trained dogs up there then sniff the masks and detect the cancer over a 4 to 8 week process. The organizer of today's event, Willie Sircone, says he discovered this unique method of detection during his time helping with the wildfires out in California. He says that's when he knew he wanted to expand the testing to firefighters here on the Suncoast.
Dogs can detect cancer, we'll say the size of a pinhead, where doctors can only detect it down to the size of a postage stamp, let's say. So they can catch the cancer a lot earlier. Firefighters throughout the United States are more prone to cancer than probably any other occupation.
Manatee Technical College is a sponsor of today's screenings. The group expects around 200 people to be tested at the college over the next few days. This is the first of this type of screening to be done in Florida, and organizers say that they would like to see it expand here further in the future. It always amazes me what dogs are able to detect just with their noses.
Save our lives in the process.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, new restrictions on doctors performing abortions.
And new rules and penalties for sexual harassment in the state, where those bills stand now in Tallahassee.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors.
The Florida House of Representatives approved a bill today that would restrict the most common type of second trimester abortions. The measure would impose new restrictions on doctors performing dilation and evacuation abortions. The procedure, described by opponents as dismemberment abortion, would be prohibited unless the heart of a fetus is stopped first by the injection of a drug or by another procedure. The bill would also allow exceptions when women's lives are in danger and there are no other options. However, not everyone is on board with this move.
The woman's right to terminate her pregnancy before viability is the most central principle of Roe versus Wade. It is a rule of law and a component of liberty we cannot renounce.
Let us remind ourselves of our humanity and make sure that we do not tear a child apart in the womb just because they cannot articulate their pain.
A similar bill has not yet been heard in the Senate.
Florida officials, government employees, and contractors who deal with them could be subject to new rules and penalties for sexual harassment. The House unanimously passing a bill that requires government agencies to investigate sexual harassment complaints and to protect the alleged victims. The bill spells out penalties for public officials and employees found to have committed harassment, including fines, termination, and removal from office.
Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will give us a look at our weekend weather forecast when we return.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, March 3rd. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
Mark Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. It's the first Friday of the month, and that means it's time for Lakewood Ranch's Music on Main.
We'll tell you about the local artists taking part in the event and how you can be a part of all that fun tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we're looking at a frontal boundary sinking south, promising us some changes in our weather for the weekend. We'll talk about it bright and early tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Well, another tool that meteorologists like Bob will use is now in orbit after a launch just a while ago.
$1 billion worth of tools up there. And this is it right here. This is the GOES S, and it will soon become GOES 17. We had the GOES R, or GOESer, in 2016 that went up, and that's in full operation now. But a successful launch just at 5 o'clock, just after 5 o'clock. And these things are so precise and so good that the GOES 16 actually saw this and actually had an image of the plume of smoke left behind from this satellite. So pretty amazing, yeah. It's going to help a lot with fires out west. Now, this GOES 17 will be out west. It won't be for the eastern United States. That's the GOES 16. And these take pictures and images less than 5 minutes apart. Where it used to be 15 minutes you had to wait, it's less than 5 minutes. So pretty amazing. Technology is really advancing there. These two birds up there high atop ABC7 studios, we're waiting and waiting and waiting, and so is Marianne, who went to our website, mysuncoast.com, to see how Sarah and Soda are doing. And where's the egg? We're waiting for the egg. Well, we've seen a lot of other things, but no egg yet. We'll see how it goes. Snook season, Cindy Desmond showing this picture. It's open. Snook season, 1st of March. The snook season open. There's a small little, again, slot there, 28 inches to 32 inches. You got to catch them to keep them, but let them go if you don't want them, obviously. Van Wezel webcam showing beautiful conditions out there once again, although a little bit windier than we've seen over the past week now as this frontal system is approaching. Lots of rainfall here, snow falling in parts of Ohio near Toledo and stretching off toward Cleveland tonight, where there are some winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings in effect for Detroit, stretching over to Buffalo. They could see up to a foot to maybe 16 inches of snowfall over the weekend. And then to the south of that, a lot of problems. Here's that thin line of showers coming with the cold front. This is at midnight tonight as we see it approach and move down. There it is just north of the Tampa Bay area by 4 a.m. By 7 a.m., there'll be a few showers around for drop-off, so keep that in mind for the kids and your commute to work. But by 10 a.m., most of the rain will have cleared our viewing area, and we're not expecting a lot of rainfall as it moves through. We will see an increase in clouds in the morning and then some clearing in the afternoon. The real cool weather won't get here until Saturday morning. 76 right now, and the humidity way up there, the dew point 71, 81 the high today. That's well above the average of 75. No record, 87 degrees set back in 1997. And as far as temperatures go, we'll see one more day of 80-degree temperatures. Then we'll say goodbye to those for a while. We haven't had cooler weather around for at least 2.5 weeks, really. And as far as the satellite and radar imagery goes, this area of low pressure continues to march off to the northeast, bringing that snowfall into parts of the New York area as well as Pennsylvania. Here's the European model showing that thin line of showers just after sunrise. Not much to it at all. And then behind it, some cooler air as winds will switch around to a north to northwesterly direction. And that will finally break this string of record high temperatures in 11 days with temperatures into the 80s or above. Now, as far as that snowfall goes, I mentioned up to a foot of snow expected. This is a forecast model showing the snow through Saturday, and that area pinpointed right there could get up to 12 to 18 inches of snowfall. Most of New York and northern portions of Pennsylvania will see up to, say, 8 to 12 inches of snow. Temperatures currently in the 30s over the northern plains, 40s and 30s over much of the Great Lakes. Highs tomorrow will warm into the 40s in places like Detroit, Chicago, and Minneapolis, 70 in Dallas. For the rest of the night, boating right around southwest winds at 15 knots. Tomorrow, winds will switch around to a westerly direction at around 10 knots and seas 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters for us on Friday. Well, here it is. A 30% chance for morning showers and then some clearing in the afternoon. High temperatures near the beaches, upper 70s, low 80s inland. 75 on Saturday. And for the Academy Award, the day of Academy Awards on ABC 7, it'll be 72. Cooler start on Monday morning. Temperatures staying in the 70s all the way through next week. Another front arrives on Wednesday. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Linda Carson will show us what's coming up in the Suncoast scene this weekend, right after this.
Coming up on Suncoast Scene, we'll tell you how to plan an exciting weekend.
Tonight, the White House in turmoil, Pope Hicks out, and President Trump again at odds with his own Attorney General. Plus, guns in America. Are the president and lawmakers close to taking action? World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Lots of great events coming up on the Suncoast this weekend.
ABC 7's Linda Carson brings us a preview in Suncoast Scene.
Herman's Royal Lipizzan Stallions presents a benefit performance Sunday to raise money for the Mayaca City 1914 schoolhouse. Not only will the horses perform,
there will be vendors out here set up all over. Different foods, which are a taste of Mayaca. There will be crafters. We always do something special. This will be a tribute to Colonel Herman.
The Mayaca City Historical Society has almost raised enough money to complete the remodeling of the 1914 school to turn it into a community center.
In that building, we plan to have a library, a computer room, 2 classrooms, an auditorium with a
stage. We also have a back porch. We've added modern bathrooms.
That's Sunday at 4 on Singletary Road in Mayaca City. The Sun Circle Art Festival this Saturday from 10 to 5 in Sun Circle Park in the Indian Beach Sapphire Shores neighborhood. Artist Andy Meisner will be showing his work.
It's a neighborhood thing, which is always kind of a social thing, which I really like. A friend of mine and I, we always show every year in the same place. It's just a real social thing, and it gets our stuff, our pieces shown in the community and to some of the people from all over the world, actually, this time of year wander in here.
We have a fabulous array of artists as well as food and music all day. It is free on the bay, just 2 blocks south of the Ringling Museum.
And Norma, an opera that has never been produced in Sarasota before, opens at the Sarasota Opera House on Saturday night. And when you go through these doors, get ready for a night of fabulous music and characters you'll never forget. Here's a peek at a dress rehearsal. And Sunday, it's the Venice Veteran Salute.
We're going to welcome the veterans and spend an afternoon honoring the ones that have given, some of them have given their all.
Proceeds go to Catholic Charity Services for Veterans.
We'll hear a very memorable concert from Glenn Leonard, who used to be the lead singer for the Temptations, and he now has his own band, and they play Motown music.
And you can also enjoy a fabulous classic car show outside the Venice Community Center before you go in to the Venice Veteran Salute. It's Saturday at 2 p.m. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Linda. And there's more going on, right?
Yeah, lots going on. We have a big barbecue bash down at the Venice Fairgrounds, and we have Ovation last weekend for the Circus Sarasota, and this should be good.
Take your choice and enjoy the sunset, everyone.
World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
Loaded with big laughs, colorful characters, and the songs that made the 20s roar, Bullets Over Broadway is bringing musical theater back with a bang. Your attendance is requested at the Players Center for this wild Broadway musical opening February 21st. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit the website at theplayers.org. This is one Broadway show that is sure to knock 'em dead.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend.
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.